Good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Daily Workout. I'm Angela Cripps, the MD of the Recruiting Gym, and this is Learning and Development Strategies Week, annual Learning and Development Strategies. So we thought we'd get in early in November to make sure that you're thinking about what's the plan for next year. What are we actually going to do differently? What's going to be important for us? So I've thought I'd deep dive into the people plan. This is something I created probably about 8-9 years ago now, and it's evolved over the time. And every time I hear a new good idea, I update it. That happened this week, actually, on one of these sessions. So that has been enjoyed from there. Morning, Angela and Black. I'm guessing that's Anne Blake. From Louise. Good morning, Louise. Morning, Libby. Morning, Blake. Yes, do say hello for those of you that are with us. I'm going to take us through the people plan. I've dived into one of our courses, the Onboarding New Starters course, because that's critical. If you're going to be having people join your business, then you need to think, well, what is the plan? What's our annual L&D strategy? One, to help you recruit them, because if you've got one and you can share it, it's much more likely that they're going to join you rather than a company that hasn't. Two, then it's onboarding them properly and going through all the elements and making sure that they're going to be successful. And then three, keeping them, so that attraction, developing, retaining, developing, carrying on, all of that links to what we're doing here. So in the course, I have got Richard Branson's quote, which is one of my favorites: train people well enough so they can leave, but treat them well enough so they don't want to. So I'm going to head over to that screen and I'm going to pick up the people plan. Now, although this is in one of our courses, we do have free previews on our courses, and this is one of them. So this is actually accessible to everyone, because I would rather everyone have this document. And as you can see, we're a gym. You don't go to a gym and just watch or look. You get chucked out. You need to make sure you're actually working out. So the workout here is to download this document, review, highlight things that you haven't got, that aren't in your business, that you're not doing. And obviously, as you go through, a lot of it is going to be covered in this course or in the Leadership and Management Essentials, but certainly this document you can get access to. We'll put it in the daily workout as well. I'm just going to make it bigger because I know there's a lot on there. So let's just start with the main key elements. So first and foremost, from an L&D strategy point of view, have you got job descriptions and person specifications for everyone in your business? And if you have, fantastic, because that's sort of the minimum we would accept. So the next question is, when were they last updated? And if it's not been in the last couple of years, yeah, they're out of date, really out of date. Think of what's happened over the last 2 to 3 years. So that could be your first workout for today, to review your own job description. And does it actually represent what you do and how you work? If you're responsible for it in a business, then obviously put that as a project to go through over the next month and make sure everyone's got very clear job descriptions, person specifications. And then from there, is there a plan for them? Is there a career plan? So from a learning and development point of view, can they see where they can go in your business? Another great way of attracting staff is having career plans. And you may be a company of 3 or 4, doesn't matter. You can still have 7 levels, because it's about promoting people as they achieve more. But what is the criteria for progression? That's critical. So it's not just about money. And obviously there'll be a lot of jobs descriptions that aren't around bringing in sales and revenue and billing. So what do they need? Now, that might be tenure. You might want to limit people's progression, that they've got to have at least maybe 9 months experience in this role before they move on to the next one, so that they aren't moving too quickly through the organization. It could be that they have to do something in their role consistently over 2 quarters. So again, you're not getting the highs and the lows and promoting people just because they do it once, do it really well, they get promoted. No, you need that consistency in there so that you know it wasn't a fluke and they can do it. So all of those elements can be in the career plans. And just for an example, then, those 7 levels. So if you're a small company, you could have someone come in as a resourcer, or even a trainee resourcer to a resourcer. Maybe they then want to go on and be a trainee recruitment consultant. They could be a 360. They could be 240 or 120, whatever elements they are. It could be key account management that they do. So they could be a key account resourcer and then go on to management through there. If they're a recruitment consultant, they can go from trainee to recruitment consultant to senior recruitment consultant to principal or executive recruitment consultant to team leader to manager, divisional manager, director. I think I'm up to 9 or 10 already just on those. So think about what's the progression, what could they do? And obviously what's critical is for them to actually support the development and the growth of the company, which means they then get promoted. So all of those elements are in there. Your attraction strategy, your people plan might be part of it, but certainly your engagement strategy, your values, what it is that you do that's important. But do have a look at your interview process today. We're very good at doing it for other people. That's our job. We're recruiters. Do you do it for your own company? Yeah. Are you as rigid with the process for yourself? I think the benchmark is too low in recruitment and we don't challenge enough. If we like someone, we tend to give them the benefit of the doubt, that good old halo effect, when actually we really need to challenge. I had 7 hours worth of interviews to become a recruitment consultant with 3 different people. So I think probably a lot of people that are still in it many, many years later didn't get into it that easily. Okay, we're on to the induction program. So you're onboarding that first 6 months. Is it written out? Is there a schedule? When people start day one, do they know what they're going to be doing for the next 6 months or so? Are there written assessments and briefings for those assessments? And do you get other people involved in them as well? So from your L&D strategy point of view, actually having others involved can be critical. And that links me here to this retention strategy, that mentoring with purpose that got added in this week. That was from Monday from Simon Reichwald. So thank you, Simon, from the research that they did. The mentoring stats blew me away. People that are mentored are likely to be 5 times more likely to be promoted. People that do the mentoring and that step up and help with other people during their induction process, it could be further down the line as well, are 6 times more likely to get promoted. So all of this links into their personal training plan. So each individual would have it set out. Where's their strengths? Where's their development areas? What do they need to work on? And the first 6 months, they identify those through their knowledge, through the sharing that you do as to what good looks like. They can then benchmark themselves around where they should be. Their training plans can be developed from that. But what about your experienced people? Again, is it that it's not the skills for the job that they're doing? They're very, very capable. They may have been doing it 10 years. But what else can they bring to the company? What else are they interested in? What are their passions? Could that be brought into the business in some way, shape or form that they can then support and help? But certainly mentoring is a great opportunity for people to do that. And a little bit of a sort of toe in the water to see whether they do actually like training people, developing people. Could they be your potential future leaders? Because it's really important that you are identifying who's next, who's going to be coming up, who's going to be supporting. I've just popped back and I've seen that Louise has said on Crowdcast version 2, I would be able to edit my own typo. Yeah, you're right. There's quite a few times I delete a comment and put it in again because I see I've spelled it wrong. Thank you, Blake, for putting the course in there so people can access this. So you don't have to buy the course to get access to this. So feel free to jump in the gym, click on that and go and have a look at the free previews. You'll be able to download this document for you. Morning, Susan. Right, let's go back. So we've done the first half. The retention strategy then, we've sort of referenced quite a few of them. Your onboarding program, your engagement strategy. What is it you do for people so that you treat them so well that they don't want to leave? Going back to Richard Branson. So what is in there? And is it written down? It might be a 1-page document. Hopefully it's a little bit bigger than that. But what do you do? Is that written down? Is it shared? Do you use it as part of your interview process when bringing in? And do you ask each year as part of your L&D, well, what is it that you want to the team? Does it link back to their values? So that comes out from their appraisals. So that personal values questionnaire as to what's important to them. Your engagement strategy would then link to that. And it might be that one of their personal values is advancement. It is teamwork and working with others, and therefore mentoring with purpose could be a great opportunity for them to get involved and to support the business. We tend to be pretty good at incentives, commission schemes for recruiters, but what about the back office staff? What are you incentivizing them for? Your credit controllers, maybe it's reducing debtor days by half and they get a performance related bonus by the end of the year or end of each quarter. That's saving you money. So if someone in the back office is saving you money, then yes, you can put a bonus around that. They can be included in it as well. Is there a company-wide bonus that actually helps everyone as well? And again, you could link it to L&D, to development, to competency frameworks. So each job has a competency framework as to what do they need for the job, what are the key elements, but then to what level? And that's where the framework comes in. So yes, you need a competency of communication skills for pretty much every job, but to what level? And it might be by developing people through that and then moving up the levels. Again, that could be linked to performance related pay. Do you do annual appraisals? Do you have a 6-month review of that appraisal? Get the documents out again. Don't leave it in the drawer for a year. Keep referencing the actions that you had to make sure that you're on track, that you did put it into practice. Maybe you had a training plan set out for 6 months, and then at the 6-month review, you do the next 6 months. So again, you're always moving forwards with people. I would say that's one of the key areas that's got lost during COVID. Things have got dropped, and annual appraisals I've definitely seen is one of them. So let's get those back. Let's talk to people. What's their plans? Where are they going? How can they support the company? What do they want to get involved with? What skills are not being utilised or being undervalued within them that they could be bringing to their role? So let's have those discussions. Good time of year to be doing it. And then finally, what's your performance management process to be able to gather all of this information, those weekly 10-minute, 15-minute one-to-ones, setting goals, expectations, giving support what they need, monthly reviews, looking back on the month, looking at the month ahead. Are they on track to achieve their quarterly objectives? So have they got quarterly business plans as to what they want to achieve? A quarter is a nice chunk of time, and trends tend to move in a quarter. So again, you're not planning too far ahead that you then find out that everything's changed by the time you get to the end of the quarter. But those objectives, targets for everyone in the business, again, driving people forward, but it will identify those skills gaps that we talked about with Vanessa on Tuesday. Minimum acceptable standards. Bottom line, people need to know the expectations, need to know where they stand. So yes, right from day one, set those and keep those each month and each quarter that you're monitoring those, so people aren't slipping into bad habits. And it doesn't mean that you have the same right across the board. You might have quite a lot more for people in year one, and then some of those minimum standards drop off over time because you don't need to monitor those. They're quite capable of doing that themselves. And that's the same with the KPIs. Get them to come up with what their KPIs are, what they need to do within their business. That develops people's business acumen. They're looking at the numbers, they're looking at the stats, they're working out, what do I need to do to be better? And then they can come to you, say, here's my L&D needs, let's put that into my personal training plan. So that's the people plan that, as I say, has been evolving over the years. So this is before someone even starts within the business. You want to make sure you're covering off all these bases. So if there's anything in there that you haven't got, get this document, download it, and utilize that in your business. So even if you're a business of one, think about what Rebecca said yesterday, which was all about make sure you look after yourself. I think we finished with that. Be kind to yourself and others. So it's a nice way to finish the week, to make sure that we're picking up from there. Oh, look, Blake, if we're on version 2, you could have picked up on your spelling mistake as well. I think your A's got stuck there. Right. That's my 15 minutes for today on the people plan. I wanted to share that with you because a lot of people should be looking at their L&D strategies for next year, and that holistic approach of looking at everything to do with the people. Have we got all these things in place? Is this going to help us to attract, retain, and develop our staff? over the next year's period. So take time to do that. Obviously, we're here to support. You can get access to a lot of free previews in all of our courses. So there's little sessions, so things like our BD fundamentals course. I think there's 88 sessions in there, but there'll be 2 or 3 free previews that you can access and look at as well. So do come and have a look. And obviously, if you're learning something from it and you're enjoying it, then do feel free to get the rest of the course as well. Wonderful. Have a great weekend, everyone. We're back next week with Job Adders Takeover Week. So we do have to have a shout out. Our sponsors on the Daily Workout here are Job Adder. They have their takeover week next week, all around tech stacks. So they're going to have different guests every day talking about different elements. So do come and join us next week. I'm taking a week off. I get to sit back and relax and watch the others do it, which will be brilliant. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a good weekend.